Hello, I'm Carl Taylor. We run piggytaylor.com. We do parts for RC trucks for those that don't know us. I get asked a lot about our 3D printing cabs that we have, various ones. The biggest question I get asked is windows. Do they come with windows? Well, technically they don't come with windows like what you'd have on a Tamiya truck. They don't do that. If you print your windscreens and your side windows in clear, they come very cloudy. You don't really get clear. So what we use is acetate, which is a clear plastic film. One or two people I know that's done them use face masks, which is basically the same thing. You can get different thicknesses. We use it from thin to medium. It's not overly thick stuff. The calipers, but I can't find them. It's about 0.2, 0.3 of a millimetre thick. Doesn't really matter which you use. I prefer the medium one. So basically what we do, different ways. Some of it you cut out, you'll have like a template and you cut it out and glue it on the outside of the cab. And we use a glue called Glue and Glaze, which does actually dry pretty clear and makes a really nice job of it. Does take a bit to go off. You have to hold it in place. I have used super glue. Not really a good idea. It has like a cloudy outline around it with super glue. It does dry quicker and it's easier. If you look at this one here, this is one this is for our XG cab, and what I did, I made a frame, a window frame for one, because you used to have to go around the edge of the window really in black and then put your windscreen over the top of that, because you don't really see colour coded bonding silicone or whatever they bond them in with in real life. It's generally black, so that's just my preference. So what we've done with our XG is we printed this frame off just to make it easy, really, because when you're actually gluing it up, you're gluing it on your bench, and then this will just sit in there, and then you can glue that in later when the cab's painted and finished. What you don't want to be doing really is putting glass in and you're dashing or everything until you're painted. And so with lenses, a lot less masking, a lot easier. You know, I find painting hard enough anyway without making it complicated. So like you said, you different ways of doing it. Some are quite happy to use super glue. I use super glue with it a couple of times. Weren't really impressed. Glue and glaze, but it does take a little bit longer. It does give you a better finish. Now, the way I do it is we have the frame. There's one or two of our cabs that I've done that have these. I think Scania 112 that has it. One or two others, some just as easy just to glue it straight onto the cab. So it's personal preference. The way I do it is I take the frame and I put a piece of acetate, and then what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to use a bit of super glue on it, which would probably sacrifice it, but not to worry. So what we do, we put glue and glaze on, obviously, but we're just going to use this for speed, really, for video. It's just a short video, just to explain it. So just get your glue on. Now with glue and glaze, what I do, I put it on, just wipe it with my finger, give it 5 minutes or whatever until it goes tacky, and then basically what you do, you get it lined up, so you make sure you're not going to go off and miss your thing. Even if you cut your acetate bigger than you need, you'll trim it down later with a knife, an X-Acto knife, or even a pair of scissors. And what I'm going to do with that is just stick it down on there. Just going to put my finger on it, make sure that I've got it somewhere in the middle and that I can roll it round later. And then I'm going to try and get this right. Like I said, this is probably just going to be a sacrificial one, but we'll just get this on. We'll just give that a minute. It can take up to 15 minutes for glue and glaze to go tacky. So So if we look at the one I've got here that I've just done, we've got pegs on it and bits of clamp, and then as it's going, just rub your fingers around it until it goes. And like I say, what I do is usually do one end, get that stuck, clamped up, let it go off for as long as you can leave it, so that it's well stuck, and then make sure it'll roll over the whole lot. Like I say, cut your acetate a bit bigger, and then when that's totally dry, come down your edges, even to end, same thing, put your glue on, wipe it off with your finger a bit, leave it a bit to go tacky, and then you just literally, I mean, if we look at this one now, it's reasonably stuck, and what I do when that's dry is come down with my glue to say here, same on the other side, or even do it in stages. See, it's come off now, but never mind. And then just roll it down and clamp it as you go, let that go off, and then when that's gone off, finish off until you've gone all the way around it. And then when you've gone all the way around your screen and you're happy with it, then I'd give it a few hours to go off totally, and then get your scissors or whatever, trim the big pieces off, and then trim it and file it and sand it into place. And then when it's on, you literally go to your cab, and on this one there's 2 little lugs at the bottom it sits in, and it will just push in. So that's how we do our windscreens. And then, like I say, some at cabs, you'll have a template or whatever, you cut, draw around your template, and I'll show you how we do doors on this. Basically, you come with a template, put it on your acetate, line it up, you draw around it, try not to move it while you do it, like I've just done. But like I said, you always trim it after, and then once you've got that, you can use that and go around it with an X-Acto knife, which is probably the best way of doing this. You have to excuse jobs and noise. We have printers around all the time today. They never seem to stop at the minute, so it's quite hard to get it when they're not running to do it. You take a knife, X-Acto knife, obviously don't do this on wife's best dining room table like I do and get into trouble, you know, try and then just score around it. I always mark it first, because then if it does move like that, I'm still a bit fiddly. You do have a little bit of margin for error with these XGs, they do sit in a recess. Just go around it a couple of times, cut it out. Once you've got it like that, and let it start coming up, just trim it. Like I said, you could use a pair of scissors. I generally do it with scissors, to be honest with you. It's just the way I prefer. Peel that bit off, and then you've got basically a window. So if I take my door now, just pop it in dry, look for any overlap and think like it might need a little bit of trimming up top there, a little down sides, just a bit off until you get a nice fit, which is what you're basically looking for. So it's a bit fiddly. I don't have a new door to try it on, so we're just doing it with this, but obviously we have it glass in, and then it'll sit in there. And then what you do, just go around your edges with glass and glaze. Same crack, you can just do the top first, get that in place, make sure you're right, and that it drops in nice and good, and then you just I can't see which is new one, which is old one now. And then literally just glue it in and let it set, and that's basically it, how we do it. On some cabs that I've done, you don't have a recess, so you just cut a piece that's too big, bigger than what you need, and it just you just put a line of glue round the frame where you want it to do, and then just pop it on. And when you went on a flattish surface like that, just leave it and let it go off. And that's basically it. You know, glass, glue and glaze. This does dry clear it. When I've used super glue, like you said, it does come cloudy and can be quite messy on outside of windscreen where you're going to see it glue. This is a lot better. I dare say there are other brands available. That's just what I use. It comes in handy for all sorts of stuff. It's quite a good glue really. It's water based. And I end up sticking my fingers to everything. That's basically it. And then I'll leave that now and give it a good couple of hours. And then just make sure it's right, looks alright. There might be one or two corners, you just go in with a little brush later, just put another dab on and put another peg or a clamp on that. These are the best clamps, but they're a bit fiddly. And then obviously when it's done, just go around with your knife and trim it off and pop it in. And that's how we do it. All light lenses and that, you could do the same thing, especially on your modern cabs, your XGs where they do have clear lens covers and that. You could use the same thing on that rather than the printed ones, which, like I said, do look a bit cloudy really when they're printed. It's just down to personal preference. I'm gluing my lenses in my XG, so I'm still working on the lights, but what we'll do is just use the lens as a template on these and use a bit of acetate and try that and see if that looks better. So it just comes down to your preference really. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's not hard. It's something when I started making them that I used to worry about and think, well, I'm going to mess it up. But they generally look alright, and like I said, using this glue is a lot better. But yeah, we try, if they're going to be fiddly to fit or hard work, like some of them I've done have been, I tend to make a frame and do it that way. So you know, if we have them, we obviously send them out with them, like. So yeah, I hope that answers a few questions. Like I say, it's one of the biggest questions I get asked about them when I go to shows or over email and that. So I thought just do this quick video and answer that. And thanks for watching, and I hope that helps.